Hey everyone, this is my Patreon proud reaction to the second episode of Shirobako. So, in the last episode, it was pretty much, well, the first episode of the series. It was introducing us to our characters, our setting, our just giving us a basic idea of what maybe the daily life of some of these characters would be like, you know, like running around, doing various things, like giving papers, taking papers, telling people to do things, you know, pretty much stuff like that. And yeah, we got to check on, well, we mainly got to see what two of our characters were doing, arguably mainly just one of them. But yeah, hopefully we do get to see some of the other ones. Yeah, like I doubt all of them probably got their dream jobs. So I guess we'll see like what exactly they're doing and you know how they're making progress and maybe what they do want to do. Because I think one of them specifically said that the voice actress industry is like really competitive or whatever. So I'm definitely expecting her to struggle. Anyway, let's get into it. I think we left off on a character like collapse on the floor, so let's see. Hopefully they're okay. 3, 2, 1, play. Okay. Flashback. Well, she worked a little bit too hard, so it's understandable. Probably get you a bed, though. Oh, Shizuka. Redheaded girl, right? Yeah. Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt you while you're trying to save someone's life. Newbie voice actress. My harem might be falling apart, but I guess... I couldn't read that in time. Thought that probably would have been a hilarious name. Obviously a light novel adaptation either way. You can't really work in that condition. Uh, so yeah, I guess we're gonna get into Shizuka, so that's cool. She's one of the few ones I actually kind of remembered. I don't know why, but... they're all pretty cute, though. I want to say that twin-tailed girl's name is Erika, Erika, one of the two. Something like that. Segawa. Segawa's getting actually a decent amount of screen time, all things considered. And so far my biggest problem with the show is just the sheer amount of characters. It's a little bit overwhelming. Hopefully most of them just aren't important enough to have to remember their names, but... I love the little parts, when she's just like bobbing like that. Her carrying all that stuff. I mean, the only characters I dislike right now is probably just the director and Taro. Taro because he's just kind of annoying, and the director because he just really... all it really does is sweat and fidget. And really what we saw before was the opening, okay. That's fine. I probably should have known that, but... Uh, yeah, that wasn't really her fault. Yeah, you know, for once. Uh... Endo. Uh... I mean, it's about getting it done more than anything. They're both cinder for each other. You really are coming off as Sundere. Oh, donuts. You gotta do it now, man. You can't argue with that. Bitter donuts. I wouldn't mind a spicy donut. Wow, can you offer that? What are you, a genie? She clearly takes her job seriously, though. I can respect that. Alpine. Who's Alpine? Oh, he's not wearing an apron. Why are you raising your hand? This isn't school. Put your hand down. Yeah, that's just because you're always late doesn't mean they can normal. Don't scare the poor girl. 11 o'clock at night. Just want to chop off that segment. Some very cute art in front of her. Wish I could hear them, but the background music is too loud. Nice little, It's cool to get to see them do that. Even putting in just like the, what would you call it? Glare, reflection, whatever on the character's hair. Emma, key from Animator, what are you doing? Aren't you just gonna say hi to her? Well, she waved hi, I don't think she saw you. Back to Shizuka. In other words, it's not going well. That's not voice actor's work. But I figured as much. Yeah. Yeah, polish that. Yeah, the club is a little bit different. uh... Ooh, a meetup. I would love to see them actually meet up. Like a reunion. Like a club reunion. Another key from Animator. The old guy. Do you ever stop fidgeting? And sweating. That's like all you do. Like, do you even have a purpose here? Or are you just a paycheck? A leech on the company? And they're cute. Really has come across as useless. How did he get his job anyway? Assistant mixer. Ooh, mics for voice acting. Nice, I was looking forward to something like this. Seeing some actual professional voice acting in this anime. .98 FPS. Man, they're pretty good. Like, that sounds like legit anime voices. Yeah, it definitely came across as airheaded. I mean, I think a subdued tone would be good. Oh, Alpine's a character name, okay. uh... I actually like that one, that was good. Yeah, the second one, I like the second one more too. But yeah, I'm actually really impressed. Just, I don't know. It definitely does sound like legit anime voice acting. Which makes sense, obviously, but still. I know it sounds silly to say that, but it's just really cool. It's like, why am I with you? Which one, whichever one's cutest? Oh, I'd love to be the one. I know, right? That'd be so good. Oh, I... Okay. When you put it like that... That's a lot of action in Exodus, I guess. It's real, I'm sorry to tell you. I would watch this anime, I'll be honest. Oh. Sure. Why don't you tell us? Uh, I thought it was fine. Make it better. The scene again. Should have told us then. The more I see it, the less emotional impact it has on me. Which would probably happened to them as well. Which might make it more difficult to judge. You're being cute wrong. Speaking as a resident girl. Oh. Early 20s. How old are these characters? True enough. uh, okay. uh, I think you just made it up. Yeah, that wasn't you didn't have a chance to know that. Yeah, let's just make random changes and delay things. That's okay. Yeah, you can't just do that. Uh, oh my god. Do you really not see the problem with this, dude? That's not a counter argument. Can we just fire him? Because he's by far my least favorite character in this show. Do you care at all that you're ruining everything? Like, does it bother you in the slightest? The great title. I could just kind of frozen on her face for all this time. Does her opinion really matter here? Pretty big decision. I mean, I can understand wanting something to be as good as it can be, but at the same time, you need to have perspective. And don't screw things up. Yeah, it's a fact, no matter how you look at it. I want to play with her hair. Do they? Oh man, those are really cute. Especially the first girl. The blue one. Aya. Good reason. Manager's corpse. Wow. Darker than I thought it was. Yeah. In other words, you're not doing your job properly. Shocker there. Now, the cute girls really do stand out in this whole overall crowd. I honestly can't blame her, like in the slightest. Do we have to? Boing 9. No. Ooh, candy. Well, snacks. Well, we know your preference. Is that important? uh, Emma's here. She hasn't said anything, but she is here. Oh, wait, fly. Is she really? Well, yeah, when you're a donut lover like you. I'm sweating so much, it's just so hot. Not really. I bet. Yeah, moe bottle of sake. Moe kyun. Which one's a kana? I assume the red one for obvious reasons. Don't do that. Uh. uh. I don't think being ugly is moe, but uh, Yoato. Since a while? Yeah, you don't really do much of anything. uh. Sound it out. Speaking is hard. Oh my gosh, she did summon the characters. She is far more powerful than I thought. I'm waiting for somebody to jump and try to hug one. He wishes. I do quite like the character style, the art style, character design. I kind of combine those words of them. You guys saw that, right? It wasn't just me. Oh my god, you talked! He just keeps sneaking on in snacks. Looks like some pretty good takoyaki and... Oh. She's good. Well, I guess things have been figured out, so let's go from here. Apparently we get our actual ED now. And that interesting doll. Very... For an anime about animation, it's very still ED. Oh, here we go, they're moving. Well, I guess we have our animation. Pretty good, actually. I feel bad for what I said now. I quite like the dance and animation there. Very expressive for a teddy bear. I'm trying to look at the cute one and get the teddy bears really grabbed my attention. Oh, he's gonna give her a love letter. Rejected. So that was the second episode of Shirobako. Not a huge amount to say on this one. Okay. Pretty much, we started off, obviously, checking on Sagasawa, whatever her name was. And yeah, she overworked herself on that last thing, so she's not feeling too good. She needs a rest, so we kind of had to have somebody else help out with that whole situation. So, of course, Aoi kind of made that happen. We also got to check in on Shizuka, the wannabe, that's not a good way to put it, the newbie voice actress who's still trying to get consistent work, and she kind of does other things to pay the bills in the meantime. But yeah, she's still trying to work her way up in that regard. But we did get to see her a little bit, talking with Aoi. She called it a very inconvenient time, but it's nice to know that she's doing fine, okay-ish. Not as well as Aoi and Emma are doing, of course, but she's hanging in there. I'm sure she'll eventually become a top-tier voice actress that all the studios want for their up-and-coming projects. Just gotta wait, you know, it'll come. What was really cool this episode is actually getting to see some of the voice acting getting done. Now, I've seen anime that have, like, voice acting as a big plot point, like, what was the one called? Girlish Number? I think that one had voice acting in it. Anyway, I know Sora Ga Seiyu did because it had Seiyu in the title, you know, voice actress, so of course, I've seen stuff like that before, but a lot of the time they'll have, like, I don't know, how do I put this? A lot of it's focused on characters that are, like, new to voice acting, and they're still doing their best, they're not very good, they don't really sound like legitimate voice actresses yet. But what we got here was, like, professionals, like, they're not main characters, they've probably been in the industry for some amount of time, they know what they're doing, they're just going about their job, so we got to just see straight up professional voice actresses doing what they do best. There's no, you know, learning there, they're doing the job, so you get to really see what. It's not like you're following someone's personal story, you know, you're just seeing voice actors doing voice actors things. I hope that makes so much of sense what I'm trying to say there. But the point is, yeah, it was cool. They sounded like legitimate voice actresses, and you got to really have a peek about what that's like. Anyway, yeah, you also had to see the I don't know position names, you know, the directors, whatever you want to call them, like giving like pointers like, hey, do this line a little bit differently, you know, that kind of thing. Because a lot of lines will, you know, they'll say like, okay, that was good, but let's change it slightly to this to better match our vision of the scene. You know, that kind of thing. So there was, you know, there's a bit of that. Now, the big conflict with this episode was the director decided that he had his own ideas about these characters, like mostly Alpine, and he wanted that to be more fully incorporated into the anime. And that's fine, you know, in theory. If you want it to be as good as it can be, I can get behind that, but when you're already kind of behind schedule and you're just talking about completely redoing scenes that doesn't really work, you're just gonna, like, what's a good way to phrase this? You run the risk of having, like, major aspects of something be worse because there was a little tiny thing you wanted to be slightly better. And having to have a lot more work to attain this maybe worse product. That's the kind of thing, that's the kind of concern you have when you go down this road. And the director, I really didn't like the director before, and I strongly dislike him now because he really did, to me, came across as a spoiled child that wants what he wants. He doesn't care about the actual repercussions of it, the realities of the situation. He's like, but I think this will be good. You know, can't we do it? You know, like a child, like an overgrown child, a man-child. That's what it came across as to me. I'm sure it didn't bother. I'm sure most people were nowhere near as bothered by it as I was, but I don't like this character. I don't like anything about him. The way he talks, the way he acts, his attitude, just anything. He's by far my least favorite character in the show. And it bothered me how much screen time he had. But, you know, eventually it seemed like people decided to go with his selfish whims, and we did get a really cool scene of Aoi just, like, summoning the characters on top of the table, which was really cool. I definitely enjoyed that. I wouldn't mind, like, one of them coming towards me and just being able to hug them. That's most of what I really had to say on the episode, although I really do like Aoi's a very good assistant. Like, she's definitely one of my favorite characters in the show so far. She does a really good job with her job. Like, I wouldn't mind her being my assistant, like, regardless of what I do in life, I would want her to be my assistant. But yeah, I mean, also, that's all I had to say on the anime itself, but the episode itself, but the ED, I did quite like the ED. It was a nice little bait and switch type thing there where we got to see the two dolls just sitting there doing nothing. I was just like, what? Are we not going to have any animation here? Like, this is an anime, about animation. Like, shouldn't we have some animation here? And then they started moving, actually, in some pretty decent animation. So, yeah, I was impressed by that. And yeah, we got to see Shizuka this episode, so hopefully we like get to keep tabs on some of the other girls whose name I don't really remember. Let's see, Midori and Misa, I think. Yeah, Midori and Misa, I think, are the other two girls. So hopefully we get to see what they're up to. I actually don't remember what they wanted to do in the anime industry, but they'll probably remind us in the next episode if we do get to see them. At least I assume we'll get to see them in the next episode. I don't think they'll want to draw that out too much. But anyway, yeah, it's time to wait for the next episode. Thank you for watching, and thank you Cnouki, the Dragon of Oshu, as well as everyone else, for doing what you can to support the channel. It means a lot to me, and I hope we can continue to grow the channel together. If you want to do more to support the channel, then you can become a patron on my Patreon and get cool rewards like early access to certain videos. Have a good one.